This is a red oak, 12 foot long, a little over 12 foot long, 20 inches on this end, 17 on the other. So for sure 3 inches off. What you can do, what I usually do, if I feel the need, I use this little jack like this. It's got a good square base, and I'll jack up just like everybody else, one side or the other. I'll set it on one of my 6x6s there, so I don't have to I just got to pump up a couple times and I'm done. However, if it's a situation like this where you can see most of the flare, and I wish I had the log a little further back, but I'm not going to sit there and fight with it to get it back. I don't have tow rollers or nothing like that, and if you can move it back, you can scoot it back, but on an oak, it's kind of rough on your the little cross members there. What I do is I set it back off of that one, not supported. And like I said, I wish I had it about maybe a foot further back. What that does, that puts the flare out here in the open. Now that's oak. It's not going to matter that it's not supported. Now, if it was a 1x2, of course it would matter, but not that big old thing. So the flare is out here. So I've basically, because it's not sitting on the rail, cross member, bunk, because it's not sitting on that, it can drop down lower. So it's the same principle. I've dropped this down 1.5 inches instead of raising that up down there 1.5 inches. Because when you raise it up, it's going to be sitting on a jack or something in my case, because I don't have any tow boards like that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a little bit wobbly. This is a lot more safer. And for me, safer rules the deal. So I always scoot them back one way or another, and I try to get the taper, the flare part, back here as far as possible. Most of the time, what's really is out of adjustment, so to speak, on the log is going to be that 4 foot. And if it's more than 4 foot, if it's really flared or something like that, I might jack it up down there on that end. But most of the time, I just do it like this. This here is something you'll very seldom. I usually don't have anything on this deck, on the concrete here, because I like going down there, and I like just backing back up. I don't even look. I just back up. I know nothing's in my way. Well, now something's going to be in my way. I started cutting that, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it was working out. And if I don't like the way it's working out, I'm not going to waste a blade on it. I can use it for something, but I'm not going to cut it up into boards. So it's kind of heavy. It's I think that's 9x9 or something. So I just tossed it over here on the side, but I will move it. It's not going to stay there long. I put on one of Norwood's saber-tooths. So I'm going to see how that runs on this oak. I'm pretty sure it's I'm sure the it's a 10. I'm pretty sure. We'll find out. And if my sawmill looks lived in, it is lived in. I have used it a lot. I mean, I have put it through the paces. All it takes, I mean, and I've had it looking worse than this. All it takes is a little bit of cleaner. Spray that cleaner on there. Take your pressure washer. And you don't really have to use a pressure washer, but I do, because I got one right here handy. Pressure wash it, and it'll be brand spanking new. Now, what's faded out, the different colors, it's not going to bring that color back, but it'll be, other than that, it'll be brand spanking new. So it might look a little raggedy now, but it's raggedy because I've done pushed it up and down these things a couple 100 miles or more, probably 1,000 miles. But I'm going to see how this runs, and that should do it for this afternoon. This here again was a storm damaged tree, and if you have very many of them, if you have very much land, you're going to have trees that die or something along that line, and it makes a sawmill more worth the money. What I do on the slabs, you can see them over there, just kind of between, just to kind of break the, the pushing, kind of use some different muscles. I'll take and I'll saw them up like that, and I got buildings that I've built with dead trees, just like that one back there, but a little bit better. That one's old. And I just pile them in there, and we use them for firewood or for over here at the fire pit or whatever. Once they dry out, a couple years, something like that. I mean, it's good firewood. I know a lot of people say don't burn pine, but we've burned pine here for 200 years. When you don't have nothing but pine, that's pretty much what you're going to burn. Dry pine, not wet pine.